Namaste, angels. This is the biweekly reading for the sign of Virgo for the period of today, Monday, December 30th, through Sunday, January 12th. Let's start with your overall energy. It's the Ace of Cups upright. So this card is about emotionally fulfilling new beginnings or beginnings again in any and every possible area of your life. Like for your work sector, for example. And you see there's an indecision here. You could be awaiting a decision on, like a new job or something. This could definitely be about promotion, a new job, your own new company. So maybe you're waiting to see if you got the business loan or something. And that's why you got the Two of Swords there, like a period of indecision. So you may need to be a little bit more patient. Or maybe not. The decision could be coming in these 2 weeks because, it would signify more delay maybe if this Ace of Cups was in reverse, but it's upright. So although there's indecision there, I think something is starting. In terms of love, it's an excellent, card too. Really, really positive omen. It can mean an existing relationship is going to deepen, especially since you also got the Queen of Cups here in reverse. I'll talk about that in a second because that's pretty amazing too. So an existing relationship is going to deepen, get better, or if it hadn't been going that well, take a turn for the better, which is pretty awesome. Also, you could be meeting somebody brand new if you're single, maybe when you go out for New Year's Eve or something, or somewhere where you least expect it, you might meet somebody. Or this can be about reconciliation and people getting back together. You may have an interest in an air sign or be involved with an air sign, or an air sign maybe who you meet. Or perhaps the Page of Swords is showing up in the energy surrounding you. It is in reverse, showing up in the energy that's surrounding you because you too are ruled by Mercury, which just 2 days ago on the 28th entered the sign of Capricorn. So maybe that's why you got this air energy showing up. But you may have some sort of interest in a Gemini, also ruled by Mercury, along with you, Libra or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. I think the moon may be in Aquarius right now too at the time when I'm doing this reading. So that could be influencing something. If you're unemployed, there's jobs out there. So get out there and look. If you haven't been looking, definitely put out your application. In terms of finances, more specifically, as opposed to work, then it's still, finances, money that's coming by way of something new. So again, it could be a new job or some new side gig, some new investment, some new, I don't know. Something new is through which the money's coming. And also the Ace of Cups is a really, really positive card in terms of spirituality. And also it comes with the need to give back. Like your cup runneth over. And so you need to give back. It's like about paying tithes. Maybe not in the way that it's thought of today, like the church says you got to send them 10%, but paying it forward, or definitely making a donation to somebody or an entity, an organization that you feel contributes to your spiritual growth, your emotional growth. It is time to give back, or maybe volunteering some time with them, for them, helping them out to do something like, this is really, really special to me. For example, I have, who was a client at the time when we first met, maybe her money was a little bit more tied up and stuff. And so I did some free readings for her. We just connected, we became friends on Facebook, and not all the time, but maybe like once a year, I did some free readings for her. And then, when her ship came in, probably about year 3 of us knowing each other, and she had gotten some money that she had been owed for a long time, like a settlement or something. She paid it forward and paid for Divine Light Cleanse for a stranger, one for her Divine Masculine. She did get a reading, that she paid for. And so it's that sort of thing. She also volunteered before that happened, before the ship came in, to do some work for me, for free, like to help me out on my website and stuff like that. So it could be things like that too. It doesn't have to be by way of money, but it is giving back some of the love that you've experienced, some of the some of the benefits that you've had, the growth that you've had, if you attribute any of it to any particular entity that helped you through a situation or something, if you could give back to them. That's what the Ace of Cups is about too. So that's your overall energy. That's not even, but the card that's most directly representing you over this period is going to be the Two of Wands in reverse, which is also a really amazing card. It means that like some sort of like really pleasant surprise is coming your way. So again, maybe newness in love, or maybe reconciliation, somebody you're not expecting to come back, but that you'd really love to come back is going to come back, or maybe an opportunity for you to go back to somebody, you know, or to meet someone if you're single, or to apply for a job if you're unemployed, or to, you know, ask for a promotion if that's what you want, or to start your own company, to get that business loan. You know, it's some sort of really, really positive thing that you might not be expecting coming your way with the Two of Wands in reverse. Also, they could be changing like the procedures at work. And I'm not sure what that would necessarily mean in a, you know, any given job, but something could be switching up at work that is beneficial to you. It may open up a new position. So maybe you can stay for the company, stay at the company or organization for which you work, but like transition into something else, like this new job that gets created because we changed the policies and the way we do things around here. So be careful about, you know, like burning bridges, if you decide to leave and stuff too, because you never know. Like there's all kinds of opportunities open for you with this Two of Wands showing up. In love, you can expect a relationship to deepen. And again, maybe that'll be a surprise. Maybe you weren't, like it'll seem like it's coming out of nowhere. Like, where's this coming from? All of a sudden you're all lovey. Yes, it's happening. Somebody could very, very literally like sweep you off your feet unexpected. And that came up in the weekly love reading for the collective too, with this Knight of Swords that appeared for the earth signs. You know how I like to do fire, earth, air, water. Wow, you almost have it like that with these cards. But I like to do that in the collective reading. Give each element their own card. So the earth card was the Knight of Swords upright, and that can be about being swept off your feet too. So this energy is carrying right into you guys's, you know, sort of more personal reading. This one is specific to Virgo. Some of you, and it could be somebody brand new, again, that you meet, or somebody that is coming back into your life, or somebody into whose life you are returning. Maybe you're not expecting the response that they're going to give you, and it'll be overwhelmingly joyous and happy. So, yeah, go for everything that you want in all areas of your life. This is a really, really positive time for you. It's like magical, you know. If you're single, there's somebody out there for you too. But it's not going to, then, you know, love, as much as these cards are, I'm saying magical and about a pleasant surprise, it's probably not going to be so magical that love just comes and knocks on your door or falls out of the sky and hits you in the head. You're going to have to get out there and let people see you, Virgo. And Virgos tend to be pretty attractive. Mercurian people, so Geminis too, tend to be pretty attractive. People are going to be interested in you. And actually, yes, that came up in one of the readings too. It was either the general or the love. The card that represents, I think it was the general. The high priestess represented you. And so you're going to be attractive in all areas of your life too. So like jobs want you, positions want you, relationships want you, friends want you. You're just like a hot commodity. And it's coming through again in this very, you know, this more personal reading for you. Let's move on to the Page of Swords in reverse. And this is, you know, friends, family, could be your energy in part. It's like a surrounding energy. So co-workers, you know, the energy that surrounds you. In a general sense, the Page of Swords in reverse, it means that some things come up unexpected. You can't plan for everything. But again, I think that's a good thing, because I said a pleasant surprise. Something's going to come up, but it's something positive, and you're just not ready. You couldn't plan for it. You couldn't expect it. But earth signs like to plan, right? You guys are very methodical and, you know, like to be consistent, like to check off the list. You start something, you like to finish it, you like to have it all mapped out. And that's not the way this is. This is, you know, sort of random. And air signs are like that. So you may be dealing with an air sign. Maybe that's why, again, the page is showing up. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. very randomly springing something on you that, you weren't expecting to happen, or giving you a response to something you're proposing that you didn't necessarily anticipate or expect either. In terms of work, there could be some sort of conflict when it comes to work too. And maybe that's why you have an undecided, like, what should I do in terms of work too? Maybe you're thinking about leaving because somebody is just, and it might just be one person, but somebody's like really rubbing you the wrong way. In the conflict, or some sort of message maybe that you receive, could be about a message. It doesn't necessarily make you happy. However, doesn't mean necessarily it's a bad thing. Think before you do, you respond. If it's a message or something, the Page of Swords says that we have to say what we mean and mean what we say. And also, if you're wanting, again, an excuse to finally leave the job and to move on to something else, that may be it. That may be, you just decide it's time to put in your resignation or whatever, but in a professional manner and not burning your bridges. If you're looking for work, these things coming up could mean that there'll be like a pretty extensive or intensive, I'll say, background check before you get hired. So be prepared to answer questions, and some stuff you may feel is too personal. So you may have to, and again, for a Virgo, somebody that's ruled by Mercury, it might be like sort of like a mind your business, but you don't want to be rude. You don't want to be nasty. If that's enough to turn you off to the point that you don't want the job, then again, in a respectful way, without burning your bridges, you say, you know what, I've reconsidered, and I'm no longer interested in this position, but I really appreciate you guys bringing me out or whatever. And otherwise, if you really, really do want the job, then sort of prepare yourself in advance to answer some questions that you otherwise might not have been comfortable answering, like your credit score and weird stuff. Actually, I think, is that a state thing or is that a federal thing where they're not allowed to ask you for your credit score anymore? It might just be a state by state thing. Also, I know like in New York, they're not allowed to test for marijuana anymore. So, it's going to vary and depend upon where you live. In terms of love, again, Page of Swords can point, just the same like work, can point to some sort of challenge, difficulty, problem in communications. But as long as you say what you mean and mean what you say, and also listen and be open to hearing what the other person has to say, things should work out. If you're looking for love, you may be attracted to someone that either they're like braggy or like a slick talker, a big talker. You know what? Libras are like that. Libras are very good, and it might be because they really, really believe it. I'm not sure if they're liars. A lot of them, of course, not everybody's the same. So, but they do have, each sign has their traits, and Libras do have their traits and they have their reputation. But I don't know if I would say, lying is one of them. I don't know if I would say liars. I think in some cases, maybe a lot of the cases, they actually believe what it is they're saying, but it's more of like a gift of gab and dressing something up way more than it actually is. So, like I'm a burger connoisseur, and, really means I work at McDonald's. You know what I mean? I have a roommate, really means somebody's letting me sleep on their couch because I don't have a place at all. But, my homegirl, they let me sleep on their couch. It's like that sort of thing. So could that be considered lying? Yes. I'm not sure they feel it's lying or that they really realize it when they do it. But they a lot of them, male and female, they do this. I've experienced it firsthand, And so that may be the deal, because you do have this Page of Swords, and the court cards tend to represent actual people. They often do. And so it may be representing somebody that is that type in your life, maybe younger than you, That could be why it's a page also. And maybe that's why you feel like you have a communication problem. Maybe one is older, one is younger. It's sitting here, the Page of Swords in reverse, right underneath the Queen of Cups, also in reverse. So maybe it's somebody, maybe like you're like a Virgo, Libra yourself, a Cuspian maybe, Virgo, Libra, Cuspian, that could be. Dealing with a water sign or different combinations of those, you know what I mean? I know a few Scorpios actually that have Virgo in them, like a Scorpio sun, Virgo moon, a couple of situations like that. So you could have something like that too. Because again, the court cards can be tend to be actual people. And we have 2 court cards here for you. So your work and finance placement is again the 2 of Swords. But I also looked at or considered the 2 of Swords in terms of love because it showed up in the collective reading for love. I think it was the love reading. It showed up in one of the readings that I did recently. And it's a really, really positive omen for love. Again, it can mean that somebody is going to come into your life, and it's going to be like a really genuine relationship and partnered or coupled with also, or in consideration also of the Ace of Cups and sitting next to the Queen of Cups in reverse. It's going to be really, really genuine. It's going to be like true love or soulmate potential, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, or whatever you feel it might be. The real deal coming in if you are already partnered. Like the energy could become lighter. Maybe you have been having some challenges, some difficulties in communication, but all of a sudden there's a shift. Energy becomes lighter, easier, more balanced. 2s are about balance. And you just enter like a new phase for you guys. And it's very, very positive. Money. Money. It's about balance too. You know, it's still going to be about balance. If you have some sort of partnership in terms of money, maybe shared finances, those sort of things should be going well, especially since we're in the energy of Capricorn right now. That should all be going nice. But in terms of, I don't want to tell you to be cheap. Look, you don't have to be cheap. I don't know. What's the saying? There's a saying that I'm trying to think of and I can't. You can spend money. I mean, of course you can spend money. It's your money. You're grown people. You earn it for yourself. But you can feel comfortable spending money over this next 2 weeks. But don't like OD. Don't go like willy-nilly. That's what it has to do with finances. But you can expect to be okay. And if you do feel like you want to spend on a large thing, a large purchase, a lump sum or something, and in order to do that, you may want to cut something else out. Again, for balance. This is going to be all about balance with this too. So like, what are you spending on that you don't necessarily need? You know, maybe you go out to lunch every day at work. Instead, you can pack a sandwich over the next 2 weeks so that you can buy this thing you want. Or you want to pay off your bills from Christmas, the gifts and stuff that you bought. Maybe because of that, you'll pack lunch instead of going to the corner store, the diner or whatever, just for this 2 weeks. Like if we spend $10 a day at lunch over 2 weeks, 5 days, per work week, we got $100, right? That we just saved. So some stuff like that. Let's move on to the Queen of Cups. In reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse in the position of love and relationship is amazing. True, deep, real love coming in your way. Don't be impatient. Don't be pushy. Don't be too forceful. Good things come to those who wait. And if you can be refined and dignified like earth signs are, that good thing is going to come to you. And it's pretty much like confirmed here, especially those who want it. Now, when I picked this up, it's in reverse, but underneath it is the 6 of Cups. So this can be about somebody from your past. And I think your last bi-weekly reading, Virgo, I had you with your mind on somebody from the past. And I said, you're going to have to decide if you want to allow them to come back. A bunch of you said that, you did have exes that were trying to come back and you weren't interested. And that's fine. But yeah, so maybe that's why it's in reverse here underneath the Ace of Cups. And, you're ready for something new instead. It is going to be up to you. Still, you got free will, but you got like all kinds of wonderful things coming your way. Look, I'm using my also Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. I've been using it all weekend, and after not using it for years, opportunity beckons. This is like a Four of Cups kind of card, but in this deck, it's called Opportunity Beckons, and that's what's happening for you. So many opportunities, just really rushing in on you guys, and it's time. You deserve it, because we've seen all the steady progress for Virgo in my readings. If we go back a month, you guys a lot of you were feeling under thumb, like with the devil. Pushed that out of the way, flipped him upside down, moved away. Next thing you know, the devil was gone, and we told him to stay gone, and now he didn't even show up. He's not even in this spread. So let's see what else we get for you guys in terms of advice for the masculine and the feminine. Masculine, manifest. And this is kind of like a major arcana card for this deck. The ones with the black borders, they're like a major arcana card type of card. Manifest would be like the magician, right? So you can create your own reality is what it's telling you. You have all the tools, all the wherewithal, all the ability. You're holding all the cards, Virgo, to do whatever it is you want. And you did get a devil kind of card, but guess what? There's a more positive twist on it in this deck, and it's called Master, as in like you're the master of your own destiny. Since you got both major arcana cards, I'm going to quickly bend down here and pick up the book and read the meanings for you from the book, beginning with one for manifest. Keywords associated with this card: act, create, focus, magic, clarity, intent. Maybe that's why it's showing up, because I said you had such a magical energy surrounding you. You are the magician. It makes sense. This is a time of great power for you. I totally agree. The manifest card is here to tell you that anything is possible. You have all the tools at your disposal to create whatever you desire. You have a variety of tools that can be put to good use. The ability to love unconditionally, to support, to cherish, to listen, to understand, to forgive, to be kind, to be joyful, and to even be silly. All of these are useful tools in managing affairs of the heart. Take some time to determine what your best tools are so that you can use them to work your own unique brand of magic around your relationships. Before using these tools to manifest your desires, take some time to be clear on exactly what you want. Like, what are your desires? A magician is always focused on his or her intent before working magic. You have the ability to manifest what you desire now. So take a moment so that there's total clarity. What do you truly need and want? Is it your highest good? Is it in your highest good? Is it in the highest good of the other person? Will it harm anyone? Magic and manifestation are powerful. When you come from a place of love, you will generate love. Be clear, be honest in your intent. Say what you mean what you say. And take action to manifest your heart's desire. You have what it takes to achieve this. And 15, Master. Fear, identity, release, negativity, freedom, love. It's so funny that I had just said, oh, and the devil didn't even show up. And then here it is. Fear and doubt often prevent a relationship from flowering or from manifesting. Wow, isn't that something? In matters of the heart, they can restrict and confine. They prevent you from opening to the joy and love that's waiting for you. A fearful heart closes in upon itself and sees only negativity and doubt. Your fears can even make you question your own value, causing you to wonder whether you're worthy of being loved or if you'll ever find love. These thoughts, if not controlled, will manifest more of the same, continuing in never-ending destructive cycles. It's time to take action. To master your fears, you must first identify them. This sounds a lot like manifest. What fears about love have you allowed yourself to believe? Are you concerned about being unlovable? Are you uneasy about giving up your freedom in order to be in a relationship? Do you find it too difficult to speak up about your needs and to ask that they be met? Sit quietly and uncover what may be holding you back. By the very act of facing your fears, you will recognize them for the deceptions that they are, and you will discover the power to manifest and eliminate them. The absence of fear is unconditional love. Please take some time to look at your fears and your doubts so that you can release them. This will free you to manifest joyful and loving relationships. Know that you can have the relationships you desire. Act now to release your fears and open your heart. We have an affirmation here at the bottom. It says, I now release my fears and open fully to a loving relationship with myself and others. I hope you guys have enjoyed your biweekly reading. I will be back on January 13th with your next one. Namaste.